So, I think us as fans, we're all getting kind of tired about this whole Arizona Coyote thing. And because I am. I'm getting sick of talking about it, and everybody keeps wondering, will this work? Will it not work? We've been talking about this, about the Arizona Coyotes for ever, you know. And I think we all just want it to be done and over with. At least I do. But I mean, there's always something that seems to come out when it comes to this team. Now we know the land auction is in June. They're trying to secure this land near in North Phoenix, not too far away from Scottsdale. Well, the Scottsdale mayor has come out completely against it. He doesn't want nothing to do with it. He has literally gone and said, we don't want this team. We don't want this land developed. We don't want nothing because there's no infrastructure right now. It's desert. There's no infrastructure whatsoever. Now, the Coyotes, they have said that, we'll pay for all this. There's no public money, which is interesting that, you've seen all this pushback and there's not even any public money involved in this. The Coyotes saying they'll pay for all of it. I do kind of wonder if, are we sure Alex Mariuello has that kind of money? Because this is the same team that couldn't afford the rent at Gila River in Glendale. So I don't know. But it's interesting when the mayor of Scottsdale, David Ortega, he's seen the renderings and he calls it a complete and total fantasy. He said this fantasy hockey project must move west from Scottsdale because this land is butting up right against Scottsdale. Well, being that there's no infrastructure there, you have to build infrastructure. You have to build plumbing. You have to put plumbing, sewage, roads. I mean, you have all of it. You have to do all of it. And it's just the mayor of Scottsdale doesn't think it's possible to do because one thing you need for all of this infrastructure is, and it's what we need for life, water. Well, Scottsdale has said, you're not tapping into ours. We don't have any water assets for you. None. And now you also have to remember too, this is a desert out there. There's droughts. There's time where there's not a lot of water to be had out there. And you're building up this entire new project that's going to need a lot of water. And I don't know if it could work. The mayor of Scottsdale basically went and said, yeah, we're not helping you provide any water for this project. You want water, you go talk to Phoenix. Well, it's interesting because the mayor's full statement here, which is interesting because it said in the mayor's full statement, last week the Arizona Coyotes developer team rolled out the same fantasy renderings used in the Tempe Mega Arena and mixed use site proposal, which was resoundingly defeated at the ballot box. True. The proposed Phoenix version, bordering Scottsdale, was presented without mention of market demand for a new entertainment venue disguised as a hockey arena, or congested highway access, or questionable arena zoning entitlement, and the glitzy proposal was portrayed as the last gasp to keep hockey in Arizona. That's another true statement, because this is basically it. Javier Gutierrez, the Coyotes president, has basically come out and said, this is it. If we don't get this, we're out. And so the mayor here goes on saying the prospect of a rookie developer attempting to buy Arizona State Trust land, which this piece of desert is, with absolutely no infrastructure on the Phoenix site, on the Phoenix side of the 101/Scottsdale Road intersection at the doorstep of Scottsdale is not feasible or welcome. So it's right there. I mean, this land apparently butts right up against Scottsdale. I mean, you've got Phoenix. You've got Phoenix there on the Phoenix side of the 101, and then Scottsdale Road. It literally bumps right up against it. And yeah, the mayor said, yeah, it's not feasible, and it's not welcome. And it's interesting because one of the reasons why I think that he doesn't want this to go, this big area to go on, because he says, you question why? The Dream Coyote retail components sit too close to the retail lions of Scottsdale, which is like the big mall or whatever that they have in Scottsdale. So that's what I think they're having one big issue with. And it said the greater Scottsdale Air Park area, commercial giants have infrastructure and access in Scottsdale. The bare Arizona State Trust land at the edge of Phoenix has no frontage roads, and water and sewer lies miles away to the west. So there's no frontage roads, and the water and sewer is off to the west for not sure how many miles. And it said, and as a condition of the sale, the 100 acres of property must develop entirely the 64th Street off-ramp for access. Now, granted, the mayor of Scottsdale, I think he knows a little bit of something about his area there because, I mean, he's the mayor of Scottsdale. If you're going to be a mayor of a city, you better know everything about that city. And he continued to say, as Scottsdale councilman in 2000 and now as mayor, I have seen the inside dealings when the Coyotes suddenly left Scottsdale in 2002 and recently as they vacated their former home ice in Glendale in 2022. The team is struggling at Arizona State University's Mullet Arena at less than 90% capacity. And coincidentally, there is a new measure in the 2024 Arizona legislature which would permit surcharges on on-site sales tax to boost viability for an arena such as the Coyotes organization now proposes. So again, he has some intimate knowledge here because he's been a councilman in Scottsdale, the mayor, and now he's the mayor of Scottsdale. So yeah, he's seen the internal dealings of this franchise. And he also continues to say, in March, Arizona State Land Department officials met in my office, and I pointed out that all Scottsdale Road improvements from the 101 North are entirely in our city. There is zero infrastructure west of Scottsdale Road. I demanded that infrastructure for the proposed site, including water and sewer, to be pulled from Phoenix assets along 56th Street to the west. Scottsdale water assets are absolutely not available. So, yeah, he's basically coming out and saying, you're not touching our water and sewer in Scottsdale. You need to go and tap into Phoenix's, which apparently is a little ways away. But he also continued to say, furthermore, I have demanded that the 64th Street Arizona Loop 101 North exit be built out of the out to serve the area again to the west of Scottsdale Road. At our meeting, the Arizona State Land Department agreed that these requirements will be bundled with any successful bid for the property. I also met with the mayor of Phoenix, who confirmed that all utilities must be extended from 56th Street. And he continued to say, too, I admire the hockey sport, Arizona Coyotes community involvement, and phenomenal youth clubs at the Scottsdale Ice Den. But I, along with the City of Scottsdale staff, will continue to monitor any actions that occur and negative repercussions for Scottsdale. As it stands today, the fantasy hockey project must move west away from Scottsdale. So he's calling this a fantasy project in the first place. He thinks this is basically complete, hooey, basically. But for all of this to happen, I mean, the Coyotes have said they're allocating something like $100 million for infrastructure into this land. There's a lot of stuff they've got to do. I mean, as they said, there's nothing there. There's no water. There's no sewers. There's no roads. There's no, I mean, I don't know if they can pull that off. I really don't. Now, I don't know how much of an impact the Scottsdale mayor has on this process, but it's I mean, you have to think that he's definitely a voice, because this land butts right up against his town, right up against his city. And he's come right out and said, you're not using our water and sewer. Not a chance. So I don't know. It all depends on how this auction goes, whether or not they're going to be the only bidder. I guess it's because every other time where it seems like there might be some daylight for this organization to actually maybe get something done so they can stay there, something else comes up. And here this is. The Scottsdale mayor coming out and saying, we don't want nothing to do with it. We want nothing to do with this project. We're not going to give you any kind of help. We're not going to do, you're not going to tap into our infrastructure. And which is why it's always kind of funny that, everybody had said when the Coyotes first moved down there, the ideal place is Scottsdale. Scottsdale didn't want them. Scottsdale has never wanted them. So, and of course, this is just further proof, even though it's technically not in Scottsdale, the fact that it bumps right up against Scottsdale and their infrastructure is basically everything out there. I don't know. And the fact that you have to redo you have no frontage roads, and you basically have to develop the entire off-ramp and the roads around it, the 101 loop, Scottsdale Road, that's got to all be done. It's just, I don't know. And when they say that 80% of these auctions normally only have one bidder, this is the Arizona Coyotes. Do you honestly think they're going to be the only one? I honestly think somebody else all of a sudden, 80% of these auctions only have one bidder. Well, we're going to screw that up. It wouldn't surprise me if somebody else decides to come on in there and try to bid against them for this land. I don't know. June will tell a lot. Also, too, it's interesting that according to Frank Saravalli, The NHL already has a contingency plan. They've made 2 schedules for this team. One for if they stay in Phoenix, and one for Salt Lake City. So they're already planning. Just in case, if this thing fails, the NHL is going to say, all right, we're sticking you in Utah. We're putting you in Salt Lake City. I think they've got that contingency plan already figured out, it seems. They already have a schedule for 24-25 already thought up and made up. 2 different ones, 2 different locations. This thing is just, I mean, I guess I'm one, I know a lot of people are sick and tired of seeing, of hearing this continue to go on. And and right now, I mean, I've said for the longest time I didn't think it could work in Arizona. I still don't. Even if they get this deal done, and of course the other caveat there, the rumor that was out there that Alex Mariuello was actually floating the idea of finding new owners, of selling the team. So it literally is, like I said, the last Coyotes video I did. That's why the thumbnail I put was the cover for the soap opera Days of Our Lives, because that's what this is. It's a soap opera. This whole thing has been like a soap opera. Twists and turns. What's going to happen next? It's a giant Mongolia cluster. Giant Mongolian cluster. You can figure the rest out. I mean, what else is going to happen between now and June? What else is going to happen? Is some story going to come out of, the Coyotes aren't doing, aren't keeping up with something or whatever at Mullet? What you have to think between now, which is, what day is it today? April 10th. So between today, April 10th, and when is the land auction? June 28th, I think, is when the land auction is. I'm not positive on that. But, let me see if it was in this article. It's in June, though. Yeah, no, it doesn't exactly say when in June. It just said the auction is in June. But I think I've heard it was the 28th before. Don't quote me on that, but it is sometime in June. So what happens between now and then? What more happens? What other shoes drop? Give me your guys' thoughts. What more do you think could happen that could submarine this whole thing between now and June? Between now and the day that this auction takes place. What more do you think happens? Does it come out that ownership stepped on a puppy's tail or something? What crazy thing that could potentially torpedo this? What more happens? I know. We all get sick of hearing this story, and everything the Scottsdale mayor said was fact. He said it completely. It was all fact. That the ballot initiative in Tempe failed, not by a small margin either. It was like 15 points. It wasn't even close. And now there's this land in Scottsdale, or north of Scottsdale, and it's it literally just, it bumps right up against Scottsdale and Scottsdale Road and 101 out there. And if anybody watches this and you live in Arizona, if you live in this area, let me know in the comments section. Are people talking about this down there? Is this a topic of conversation in Arizona? Of the Coyotes wanting to buy this land, what they think of the Scottsdale mayor's comments. I'd love to know from people from Arizona if they have any insight. If anybody from Arizona were to watch this video, let me know in the comments section. Give me some more insight on what exactly is going on down there. Do the fans really care about this? Do the fans really care if the Coyotes stay or go? I'd love to know. But let me know what your guys' thoughts are. What do you think of the Scottsdale mayor's comments? What do you think about the idea of the NHL having two different schedules in case this thing fails? Because it tells me if they have two different schedules, that tells me the minute this thing fails, if this fails, the minute it fails, the NHL is finally, after damn near 30 years, they're finally going to say to the Arizona Coyotes, you're done, out. And they'll stick them up in Salt Lake City. And the crazy thing is right after that, the NHL will probably immediately get to work on trying to find a way to put an expansion team there. I don't know. The drama is crazy. But let me know what you guys think. Let me know what you think of the mayor's comments. Let me know if you think anything more is going to come. If something more is going to happen, I swear I can talk. If something more is going to happen between today and the day of the auction, what might happen? What do you think might happen? And if you live in Arizona, let me know if this is a topic of conversation anywhere down there. Are fans talking about it? Is it in it? Is it truly in the news? And do people really care about it? I'd love to know. So let me know all that. Please like this video. It would be greatly, greatly appreciated. Also, it would be greatly appreciated if you would subscribe to the channel, because we always kind of like that. And again, the comment section, good robust comment section, lets the algorithm know that people are tuning in. So let me know all that. Let me know what you guys think. And also, if you want to share this video with friends or whoever, go right ahead. And honestly, my personal opinion, not only do I think something else comes up between now and June, but I'm really kind of 50-50 on if this auction is going to be successful or not for the Coyotes. Because it will not surprise me if at least one other company or whoever, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody else goes and steps in and says, yeah, we want this land too. So let me know what you guys think about all that. And, let me know what you guys' thoughts are. The fans like it? Do they not? You think the mayor's right? Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys later.